make this 10 just so we can see everything, and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. What's up guys, my name is Garnet, welcome back to the channel. This will be a two-part series on getting a procedurally generated isometric map, sort of like what you see here in the background, working inside of your own game. So the first part will be getting the isometric map to show up. Second part will be generating the path. So make sure you watch both parts to understand it completely. So first thing that we are going to do is we are going to open up Aseprite and we're going to draw our first tile design here. If you haven't seen Adam C. Eunice's videos on isometric tile maps inside of Aseprite, I do recommend watching that. It will help a lot with any sort of isometric designs that you're making. So this tutorial is mainly going to be used for like this normal like sort of diamond isometric that you see, but I do know there's like some other shapes that you can work with. So once you've got Aseprite open, I like working it in 32 by 32. We'll open up our line tool. You can either do that or click L, use any colors you want, and starting at the very top point here, if you hold shift and draw, it looks like it's about 30-degree angles, maybe a bit less actually. You want to draw a line like this, and what that is 2, down 1, 2, down 1, 2, just like that. Now at the end of the first point, we will go just below it, and we'll do the same thing going downwards instead. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite end, just like this, and from the bottom here as well, starting at the bottom, going up just like that. And now we can draw lines that match everything up. And for the center here, we'll just do 2 lines just like that. Now, I will imagine that we're using some kind of like grass or something like that, so I'll color it green, and you can use the shading however you'd like. I'll do something like this. Maybe I'll do this one a little bit lighter. Yep, okay, that looks good. Now, if you're using Unity 2020 1.3.15, you can save this just as an Aseprite file straight into your project, as long as you've got the Aseprite importer package inside of your project. Otherwise, we'll just export it. So next thing we want to do, if you haven't already, make sure you have opened up a new project. And I will export this just as isometric tile inside of your project. So just make sure it's in your assets folder, and you want to hit save and export it. So with your project open, you want to go open up the PNG file that's been saved in. I'm going to switch the pixels per unit to be 32 and hit apply. And if you drag this out now, we look at it, it is very blurry. So the way to fix that is inside of the PNG file again, you're going to go to advanced filter mode, and it's automatically set to bilinear. Swap that to point no filter, and you want to set your compression settings to none and hit apply, and that fixes it up. Okay, and what we'll do here, we'll just reset the transform for it. And we'll drag this straight down as its own prefab, and we can delete it from the scene. Now inside of the scene, we'll create a empty game object. We can rename that to map generator and reset the transform. And with your main camera, just before we move forward, I would recommend moving it to probably these coordinates, 5, 4.5, just because we're not going to be working in the negatives with the map layout. So everything will be working from a positive XY coordinates essentially. Next thing you want to do is create a new C# script, and we'll just call this map generator, and we'll open that straight up. Now we can remove these 2 starting functions here, and we'll create a serialized field for a private int for our map width and our map height. and we'll do another one, serialize field for a private game object, which will be our isometric tile. Okay, if you go back into your Unity project and you let that compile, you go inside of your map generator object that we've created just in the hierarchy, and we'll drag in the map generator script. And we can drag in the prefab reference of the isometric tile, and let's set the map width and height to be something like 10 and 10 for now. Feel free to change this as big and small as you want. Okay, so we'll go back into our script now, and we'll first create a method called generate map. Leave that empty for now, but inside of our awake, we will call the generate map function. Alright, so what we'll do here is we're going to loop through each value of the x and y coordinate, and we're just going to instantiate one of the isometric tiles inside of that position. So, normal sort of for loop here. And inside of the nested for loop, we'll create a new game object here, and we'll just call this tile, and we'll set it to be instantiate isometric tile. And we want the vector 3 position to be a new vector 3, and we want to set that to our x and our y values. And for the z, you can just say 0. And by default, you have to add the quaternion, which is the rotation, and we want to just say identity. We don't want to, so identity is just like the native rotation that it comes by default. Okay, so not quite finished yet, but we can see how this is looking for now. So if we hit play here, so it's almost like a, it looks like a 2D grid here, essentially. But what we want to do is we want to have some offset values, just to fix this up a little bit. So we'll create two floats here. One for our, we'll call this x offset, and one for our y offset. Now, the x offset will be set to the x plus the y divided by 2, and the y offset will be x minus y divided by 4. And so we're taking in the values from the loop here as they're going. We're not referencing these two with each other. And we want to make sure that inside of the vector 3 here, we are instead using our x offset and our y offset. So we hit play again, we will see something a little bit funky to begin with. So it's looking a little bit weird at the moment, isn't it? And that's okay. The reason for that is just because of the way that isometric tiles are working. What we want to do instead for our x loop is actually start it at the end. Okay, and we want it to count down rather than up. So we want to set it to be equal to the map width, and we want to say it's greater than or equal to 0, and instead of plussing it, we will minus it. So if we hit play now, okay, give me 1 second, it might be the F here. Yep, there we go. So don't do what I did, make sure that you're dividing it by a float value rather than just a integer value. Okay, and so I guess we want to put the camera down a little bit. We can probably put that down to maybe 1. And if we hit play, yeah, there we go. We have a really nicely generated isometric tile. And let's even make this a little bit bigger. Before we hit play, make this 10 just so we can see everything. and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe set that to 8. So we have a really nice isometric tile to begin with here. And yeah, make sure you tune in for the next video where we start generating the path for it. I'll catch you guys then.